If you are new to 3D printing or just wanted to learn some extra nifty tips and tricks, then this is the video for you, because I will be covering things you should know about 3D printing but maybe didn't, starting off with this. So this is a 3D print that is absolutely stuck to this print bed no matter what I do. I am going to have some real struggles getting this off of here. No matter how much I bend it, how much I pull it, it is stuck. That's because this is TPU. So 90% of the time, you're not going to have to worry about this because you'll probably be printing in PLA. However, when it comes to materials like this, like TPU, PETG, and nylon, and a few others as well, but mainly those ones, you're going to want to be absolutely sure that you have a glue stick or something to release the print on your print bed before you start. There's a good chance this is going to get damaged when I take this off. I took a risk with this video, but I wanted to show you guys just how bad this can be. So knowing with those materials, having the glue stick as a barrier is very important before you do this print. What if you've already done it, and what if this is already stuck just like I did for this video? Well, there's a few things you can try to get this off without damaging the plate. Pop it in the freezer and see if when it's completely cooled and like very cold that it will contract and maybe come off of the plate. Otherwise, you can get a plastic bed scraper and try and get a side of this up. I've managed to get a little side of this up, which I will continue to work on, and then just slowly pry it off. That could still lead to a damaged plate, but hopefully it doesn't come to that. And the other option would be to get a craft knife and peel it off layer by layer. But if you are going to print TPU, PETG, or nylon, make sure to put a layer of glue stick. That way you can get your prints off of the bed without damaging them. So moving on, we're going to talk about filament material settings, and this applies to all printers, all slicers. So even though I'm using Bamboo Studio, if you use something else, this is still important. So the reason you want to make sure you set the filament settings every single time is you'll just get a better print quality, right? Because it knows the temp that you need to be printing at through the nozzle, the print bed temp, the print speeds that it can actually use and handle as well, and many of the settings that you're just not going to need to know about right away as a beginner, who this video is sort of focused on. But somewhere in your slicer, for example, with the Bamboo Studio, it's in the device tab, you'll be able to tell your printer which filament you have loaded in so it knows how to handle that filament. For example, over here on the right hand side, don't worry about this, I left the lid off overnight, whoops, we have the PLA that I have loaded in. However, you'll notice that this one here is Polylite PLA, and then the next one is a Bamboo PLA Basic, and then on my last one, because the third one's the same, is Bamboo PLA Silk. So all of these will act differently when I actually print through them because they have different settings in all of the presets. Now you can change the preset by going through this list, and there's loads of them that are preloaded on with the Bamboo Studio one, but you can also download and install other ones from other manufacturers' websites. For example, you can see here a preset that I've made for PETG glass fiber. This will tell the printer all the different things that it needs to know how to handle that filament. Otherwise, you could pick something from here, but it likely wouldn't perform how it needs to perform. Now, you also want to make sure that when you go to slice your prints that you tell it that you're using that filament. For example, if I want this in the PLA Silk, I can then slice this and it'll tell me that this is going to be 4 hours and 14 minutes in total. However, if I now change this to, let's say, the Polylite PLA, you'll notice that the print times have changed even just slightly, but this just means that now when you print this, you're going to see the quality difference that you would expect. You can get away with just using the generic settings for each of, like, for PLA, all PLAs will probably be okay. However, if you are noticing print quality issues, this could be something to consider, and always check on the actual filament that you get, whether it says about print speeds and temperatures and stuff, and if it doesn't match, it's definitely worth adjusting. Quick interruption, look at this sub count, that's crazy. I appreciate it so much, guys. If you are enjoying the channel or the video, please do click the sub button, it'll help out loads. Let's get back to the video. Now, another one that I absolutely love is something in here. This is a Polymaker cardboard spool that was in my AMS. Now, if you use an AMS, you will know that using cardboard spools is not the best idea. And if you didn't know that, then you should definitely try avoid using cardboard spools directly in your AMS, as it can mess up the motors. That being said, you can actually print these very nifty and useful cardboard spool covers to allow these to go into the AMS without causing any issues for your motors. You can pop these just over the top of the cardboard, or some of them let you tear the cardboard off and actually put these onto a regular spool, and you can just pop these straight into your AMS, and they actually work a lot better in terms of feeding the actual plastic through. There's no tangles, no pulls, and that sort of stuff. It just gives you a much better experience. Just search the brand of the filament that you're using it for in like Makerworld or Thingiverse, and there'll be covers for like every single one of them. You will find a cover for it, and then just pop that over your cardboard spool and save your AMS motors. So our next thing brings us back to the Bamboo Studio. However, if you don't use Bamboo Studio, you can still take advantage of this. So I'm going to be talking about the Maker Lab setting over over here. Now, Maker Lab is insanely good. It has so many different tools in here, if you've never looked through it, that helps you get models and design things and make things that like so fast. And if you have very little skill in design like myself, this is a super useful place to be. For example, you have the Lightbox Maker over here, you have Flexi Toy Maker, Image to 3D Model, you've got Make My Desk Organizer, loads and loads of tools that Bambu Labs have loaded up into here for you. For example, let's look at the Lightbox Maker. We can click Let's Begin here, and then all you need to do is arm yourself with an image, click New Project, and go from here. So I can drag an image from my own thing here, which we're going to use our little channel emoji or emote, whatever you want to call it. Then just go through all the options, just hit preview, and immediately it'll load in a Lightbox that you can actually 3D print straight away. If you hit export in the top right here, it'll ask you if you want to dig holes now or continue to export. You can either do these in the slicer or you can do it now. So we'll place one there and one there, and you can see that we now have mounting holes for the actual print. And then once you've exported it, there's your print ready to go. You are going to want to reduce the colors, maybe pick an image that makes more sense. But of course, just as the example, there are loads of other tools that you can take advantage of here. So if you haven't had a browse through, or if you don't use Bambu Studio, but you want to take advantage of these, then check it out. Honestly, there is so many cool things, and it is definitely worth taking a look at. Now, if you own an AMS, you may at some point want to print two different items in two different colors. You look at this and you see 55 filament changes, and all of the purge between changing layers here is a bit of a nightmare. Now, if you're new to 3D printing, you may not have noticed already that you can actually change your print sequence so that it prints the first object first, and then it will change filament one time and print the second object completely after this one is finished. So all you need to do this is on the actual print bed here, you can click this icon, and then you can see here it says plate type, print sequence, and some other options here. Click the print sequence and do it by object. If you press OK here, now when you slice, you'll have to make sure that they are placed far enough away from each other so that the tool head doesn't collide or anything like that. Or you can just press A and it'll adjust them for you exactly where it needs to be. Click Slice Plate, and you'll notice that now we only have one filament change time. And what you'll notice it'll do is it'll print our black object first and then move on to our white object and print that separately. So you save yourself 55 layers of filament changing and purging, and you can print these two together. Now, the reason this is useful for me is that both of these prints come out pretty quick, meaning I would have to come back to the printer, take one of them off, and then put the other one on and come back later to take that off, which is what I used to do before I learned that I could do this. Now I can put both of them on at the same time and only have to interact with the printer that once to take them both off when it is completely finished. So this is definitely a good time saver and a good filament saver if you didn't know about this one. Moving on, cheap filament could actually end up costing you more money in the long run, and it's a lesson that I have learned myself firsthand. First of all, of course, there is print quality issues. If you print things out and there's layer lines and drooping and stringing all over the place, and if it's not the actual print settings and more the filament itself, you can end up reprinting things, throwing things out, and just wasting filament along the way. However, I ran into an issue where I put purple PLA through both of my printers and damaged both of the nozzles to the point that I had to replace both of them. I don't know what happened with it, but after troubleshooting for ages, I had to replace both of the nozzles, which cost me a little bit of money too, and well, the filament is just completely wasted. Now, the reason you're not seeing a brand is because while I was troubleshooting, the filament got mixed up with my other purples, and I have to throw all of them away because I am not running it through the printers again. So before you buy anything, definitely check reviews and check the branding as well. If it's a brand you've never heard of, maybe do a little bit of research and Google it and see what people are saying about the brand, not just specifically the reviews of that product, and save yourself a little bit of a headache from print quality issues and also damaging your printer, I guess, which PLA, I don't know what happened. Now, a question that I see all the time in the comments is, what software do you use to design 3D models that you're then going to print out? And the best answer to that is always start with something that's free. But it recently changed for me. I used to use things like Tinkercad or Blender and many other programs as well to do little things that I knew how to do in each of them. But along with the comments asking for software, there was people recommending it, and I appreciate it. I recently downloaded and started learning Autodesk Fusion or Fusion 360. Now, for personal use and hobbyists, this is actually free to download and use and offers way more features. This is definitely going to take a decent amount of time to learn properly. I am very much at the beginning of it now, but I will be investing a good chunk of my free time. It's going to be a worthwhile skill investment for me in the future, especially if I want to grow this channel a bit more and start working on some really cool, unique projects, which I definitely do. And I thought it was worth mentioning because if you're wanting to learn to design your own prints and you want to focus on one program and learn it really well, this is probably a great place to start. It's free to use, it offers a ton of functionality, and I also don't doubt that it will pay itself back with the time invested by saving you time designing things in the future. So if you are looking for a good solid program to learn, then Autodesk Fusion might be the place to take a look.